KTXT-FM is gearing up for a special event to help keep college radio alive. We'll have the details coming up.
One of Lubbock's most memorable artists is being honored with a special exhibit here on campus. Find out where you can see it in person next.
And it's the final countdown in the race for the President of the United States. MCTV's Rachel Blevins has a special look at the candidates in our election coverage.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Kaylyn Smith.
And I'm Jay McCully. KTXT-FM, also known as the Raider 88.1, is Texas Tech's only student-run broadcast outlet. The radio station has given students a voice for more than 50 years.
That's right, Jay, but KTXT is not the only student radio station. There are hundreds of stations right here in the United States, with even more around the world. And tomorrow, KTXT will be a part of a very special event that is helping to keep college radio on the air. Reporter Laura Duclos has more.
The students are going to be doing a 24-hour broadcast marathon from this very room, using this equipment.
Basically, rather than doing some of our syndicated stuff or pre-recorded stuff, it's just going to be all student-run live stuff from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. the next day, 24 hours straight.
Well, I am the director for KTXT's social media, and this year I was the director of College Radio Day social media. And I think it's really been a big part in getting the word of college radio out, because not even if you're going to college, you might not know about your college radio station. So I think that's really important, and I think it's been a great way to spread the word.
There's lots of things we do at KTXT Radio that you can't do on social media. Leadership being one, self-confidence being another, learning how to find and use your voice. Facebook doesn't teach you these things, but these are things that we strive at and excel at, and I think are very important to college students in the 21st century here at KTXT.
KTXT's 24-hour broadcast kicks off tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Visit ktxtfm.org for a list of all the programs scheduled for College Radio Day. You can watch the broadcast over the air at 88.1 FM or online through the stream on the website. And as mentioned, you can also watch many of the shows live on KTXT's Facebook page. Just search for the Raider 88.1.
A special exhibit currently on display here on campus is honoring the legacy of one of Lubbock's best-known artists. The Southwest Collection is currently hosting a collection of works featuring cartoons created by the late Dirk West. West served for many years as a journalist and editorial cartoonist for the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. His most famous cartoons featured caricatures of college mascots, including Red Raider. Along with Tech's mascot, would produce a weekly cartoon featuring comic renderings of mascots from the various schools in the Southwest Conference and the Big 12. The exhibit is on display from now until February 2017. If you'd like to check it out, just stop by the Southwest Collection located on the north side of the library. The SWC is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Tuesdays and Thursdays until 7 p.m. You can also view the exhibit on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The exhibit is free and open to the public.
Texas Tech's graduate school recently received national recognition as one of the best value schools in the country. Value Colleges, a website that reviewed accredited colleges and universities, ranked Texas Tech number 17 on its list of the top 50 best value graduate schools in the United States. The ranking was announced last week after the list was released on the Value Colleges website. Value Colleges bases its ranking on graduation rates, the number of graduate programs available, and the school's Carnegie classification. This is the first time for Tech to make the list following the university's achievement of the Carnegie Tier 1 status earlier this year. For the full list of institutions on the Best Value list, visit valuecolleges.com. Students heading to class early this morning had to dig out their rain boots and umbrellas.
Yeah, Kaylyn. From late last night through this morning, the South Plains saw a set of thunderstorms that brought some much-needed moisture to the area. This was the scene here on campus earlier today after receiving almost half an inch of rain. As usual, localized flooding caused several streets to become small rivers, and students had to watch out for puddles on sidewalks. By 9 a.m., the biggest showers moved out of the area and the campus began to dry out. Although today's rain may have been an inconvenience for those walking their way across campus, the moisture was a nice break from the warm, dry weather we've seen the last few weeks.
So were today's storms a sign of more changes to come? Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. The MCTV tower cam is showing overcast skies this afternoon, and that will keep today's high from getting above the mid-60s. Overnight, the clouds will stick around and temperatures will stay cool, but we've probably seen the last of the rain for today. Tomorrow, we'll see a continuation of the cloudy skies and 60-degree weather. Winds will stick around 10 to 15 miles per hour, moving some of the clouds out later in the day. On Saturday, we'll have our first chance of more thunderstorms, with the possibility of rain increasing into the evenings. Temperatures will stay in the mid-60s with a slight increase in winds. Saturday evening storms will linger into Sunday, with rain chances staying high throughout the day. Sunday's conditions should be a repeat of Saturday, with high temps in the mid-60s and breezy winds. By Sunday night, the storm should start to decrease. Monday morning will start out with the overcast skies, but it should stay dry into the afternoon. With the rain out of the picture, temperatures will increase into the lower 70s, but by Monday night, our rain chances increase again, and temperatures will drop back into the mid to lower 50s. Tuesday morning, we'll continue to see isolated showers with a slight chance of thunderstorm activity. The return of the rain will bring temperatures back down to the mid-60s, and overnight lows will drop down to the 50-degree mark. We may see a little bit of an escape from the rain Tuesday evening, but Wednesday will once again bring a return of showers. Temperatures will again hover in the mid-60s and winds will be light. Looking ahead, sunny skies may return by the end of the next week, but the cooler temperatures might be here to stay.
In less than a week, voters will select the next president of the United States. The race is still tight, and you still have time to make your voice heard before Election Day.
Rachel Blevins has the rundown on the two main candidates fighting for your votes in today's MCTV election coverage.
Election Day is less than 1 week away, and there's a good chance that if you're voting for either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, you already have your mind made up. This week, we are going to take a look at how each candidate has transformed over the course of the election season. When Hillary Clinton announced that she was running for president on April 12, 2015, she launched her Ready for Hillary campaign by presenting herself as the candidate who is a, quote, champion for everyday Americans. Throughout her campaign, Clinton has limited access to the press and has controlled the questions she is asked during interviews. It wasn't until recently that she ramped up her attacks against her opponent. In one of her final rallies in Florida, Clinton blasted Trump for his treatment of women in the past and presented him as a bully who would hold America back.
For America, this is one of those make or break elections. It really is in your hands. And I hope you will think about how you will feel the day after the election, on November the 9th. Are we going forward together, or are we going to be pulled backwards by someone who wants to bully us?
When Donald Trump announced that he was running for president on June 16, 2015, the speech that launched his Make America Great Again campaign made many Americans say that there was no way he would ever become the Republican nominee. But he appealed to voters as the outsider candidate, and his openness to the media aided in his name dominating the news cycle. Trump originally attracted attention with his negative outlook on the country, insisting that America, quote, doesn't win anymore. However, in his final week of campaigning, he addressed a rally in Pennsylvania with a much more positive and presidential tone.
If we unlock the potential of this country and its incredible people, no dream is outside of our reach. If we stop believing in our failed politicians and start believing in ourselves, then anything is possible.
Early voting is open from now until Friday, November 4th. Tuesday, November 8th is both Election Day and the last day to receive a ballot by mail. For the latest with MCTV's 2016 election coverage, I'm Rachel Blevins.
As Rachel mentioned, early voting is currently underway, and you still have one more day to cast your vote before next Tuesday. Early voting ends tomorrow night at 8 p.m. If you're registered in Lubbock County, you can cast your vote at any location. For a list of locations and a sample ballot, visit votelubbock.org.
If you're looking for an escape from the stress of the semester, the Tech Activities Board has a fun, free option for you. Let's take a look at the MCTV events calendar. Tonight, head out to the Stars and Stripes Drive-In for a free double feature. TAB is hosting Drive-In Movie Night, and the first 200 students get in free. Tonight's lineup includes Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The show starts at 7:35, but the drive-in opens at 6 p.m., so you should plan on getting there early if you want a free pass. Stars and Stripes Drive-In is located at 5101 Clovis Road.
The last home game of the season is this weekend, and the Tech Library is hoping to get students pumped up in time for the Longhorns to come to town. Tomorrow, starting at noon, the library is hosting a tailgate in the courtyard east of the main entrance next to the sub. There will be hot dogs, drinks, and even some Red Raider swag. The tailgate is scheduled until 1 p.m., and it's free and open to the Tech community.
And then on Saturday, it's time to get your game face on as the Texas Longhorns invade Jones AT&T Stadium. As Kaylyn mentioned, this is the last home game of the season, and it's also one of the last few chances the Red Raiders have to become bowl eligible. Kickoff is scheduled for 11 a.m., but if you can't make it, you can also catch the game on Fox Sports 1. Speaking of sports, last night marked one of the biggest moments in the history of sports. Major League Baseball World Series wrapped up in grand fashion.
That's right, Jay. Last night, the Cleveland Indians hosted the Chicago Cubs for Game 7 of the World Series. Game 7 was the finale of a historical series between two teams who hadn't won the championship in a combined 176 years.
Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series! Bryant makes the play! It's over! And the Cubs have finally won it all! 8-7-10.
The Chicago Cubs pulled out the win following a crazy last 3 innings of play. After leading 6-3 in the top of the 8th, the Indians came back with 3 runs, tying the game at 6. A scoreless 9th inning sent the game into extra innings, and the Cubs scored 2 more runs. The Indians came back with 1 more run before the Cubs wrapped things up with the final out. The win ends a 108-year drought between the Cubs' last World Championships in 1908. The win also ends the so-called curse, which, true or not, contributed psychologically to the Cubs' losing streak. The 108-year drought was also the longest amount of time the team had not won a championship in all of professional sports.
So, Kaylyn, did you watch the game last night?
Oh, definitely. I was up until midnight and had an 8 a.m., so it was rough today.
I bet. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Monday.